Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The studio lights blazed overhead, brighter than Brad had remembered. Maybe it was the nerves, or maybe, just maybe, he was finally beginning to admit the truth. The audience buzzed with anticipation. Another episode of The Chase was about to begin. A beloved quiz show that had turned ordinary people into trivia champions and chasers into household names. But today's episode wasn't going as planned. All right, next up, Bradley Walsh announced, flipping through his cue cards. We've got Tony, a retired firefighter from Nottingham, who says he's unbeatable on film trivia. Let's see how he fares. Tony grinned, stepping up to the podium with the confidence of a man who'd once run into burning buildings for fun. Let's play The Chase. The questions rolled in. Movie quotes, directors, obscure Oscar winners. Tony didn't miss a beat. By the time he faced the chaser, Anne, the governess Hegarty, he'd already banked £9,000 and had the crowd cheering. But behind his professional smile, Brad felt a twinge of something unusual. Doubt. It had crept in quietly. A slow-growing vine winding around the show he had hosted for over a decade. It wasn't just today. Lately, the fans had started to notice and complain. Social media had lit up with comments. Does Brad even know the answers anymore? He reads the questions like he's lost in the middle of a pub quiz. Still love him, but Brad's not exactly sharp these days. It hurt, even if he laughed it off on camera. So when Tony sat back down triumphant, Brad leaned on the lectern, took a deep breath, and said it aloud, half joking, half confessing. Honestly, I'm not very good at this game. There was a pause. The audience chuckled, but there was a strange silence beneath the laughter. It was the kind of honesty people weren't used to hearing from celebrities. Anne raised an eyebrow. "Well, Brad," she said in that cutting voice, "we can't all be chasers." He smiled, but the comment stung. Still, he pressed on. Another contestant came and went, another quiz round played to near perfection. And through it all, Brad watched, more observer than participant. Then came the final round. The team was strong. They'd racked up an impressive £60,000 and were facing Mark, the beast Labbit. The crowd was electric. As the timer began, Brad asked questions like a machine gun, firing each one with increasing pace. But inside, something shifted. He remembered why he loved the show in the first place. Not because he had to be the smartest, not because he had to impress the audience, but because, in some way, he was one of them. A regular guy asking clever people clever questions, trying not to trip over his own tongue. The final seconds ticked away. The team beat the beast by 1 point. The studio erupted. High fives, hugs, confetti. Brad laughed with them, clapping his hands and shaking his head. As the credits rolled, he turned to the camera. "To everyone out there who thinks I'm not the best quiz host, you're probably right. But hey, I am good at making sure you have a good time." And the fans? Most of them forgave him, because while Brad might not always be perfect, he was real. And sometimes that's better than being brilliant. Because in the end, The Chase wasn't just about questions. It was about heart. And Brad Walsh, even on his off days, had plenty of it.